Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Mr. Efeni.
Let's start straight away with these day newspapers. The lead story, NAFDAC disagrees with WHO on chloroquine clinical trials. Says data shows drug effective in early stages of COVID-19. Tests end in September. Jonathan asks Africa to look inward for solutions. Federal government increases testing laboratories to 28. 276 new infections raised tally to 8,344, with 2,385 persons discharged, 249 dead. U.S. company begins clinical trial for vaccine. Yes, the same story you have in the front page of the Nation newspaper. COVID-19, chloroquine trial to continue in Nigeria. Medical experts divided on NAFDAC action. Of course, NAFDAC saying there's enough data to prove that chloroquine worked for many COVID-19 patients. We would continue our own clinical trials in Nigeria. Yes, the Nigerian Drug Agency, NAFDAC, the national NAFDAC, taking its own position.
Food and Drug Administration.
Yes, Food and Drug Administration. Now it's taking its own position. And I seem to agree with them that Nigeria should be able to conduct independent trials and see what the results look like. Yes, the World Health Organization, going by that Lancet report, which states that many are dying as a result of the use of chloroquine, had to put a halt to the solidarity trial that was going on around the world. But Nigeria can conveniently carry out an independent trial. We have the capacity to do so, and we have been using chloroquine for a long time before COVID-19. I think that is what is encouraging the Nigerian authorities to go ahead.
Clarification.
Yes.
The WHO is not stopping the solidarity trials. The WHO is saying it's going to suspend the hydroxychloroquine part of the clinical trials that they are carrying out. They will continue with other drugs. I think the question we should ask is that, with this statement by Professor Akinkoye of NAFDAC,
yes.
Now, is the NAFDAC, is Nigeria pulling out of that WHO solidarity trial?
No, I doubt.
That we've been told about by NAFDAC and also by the Center for Disease Control and also the Federal Ministry of Health. So what is responsible for this disagreement? However, I said earlier that it's not only Nigeria that says it will continue with hydroxychloroquine. The same position is taken by Brazil and India.
Yes.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I think while it is very important to respect the decision of the WHO, I do also really stand by the fact that we should also be able to respect other independent agencies being able to conduct their own trials so that we have a more rounded view. So if NAFDAC say that they want to go ahead, we need more clarification for sure on whether that means they are pulling out of the solidarity trials, but I don't see how it should be of effect to the WHO's decision. I think they should both just stand independently. But yeah, we do need more clarification.
Yeah. Okay, let's just move on to other subjects. Still on the front page of these newspapers, INEC rules out electronic voting until Constitution is amended. Reading through this story, it is more of a clarification of language and than any substance in the denial of the stories written yesterday. INEC saying that, yes, they have not said they will start e-voting in 2021, that they will commence pilots towards using e-voting in a major election. I think it is a no-brainer that before INEC can talk about e-voting or go ahead to implement it, there has to be some constitutional amendments, amendment of the Electoral Act 2010, before they can actually implement. And I think I made this point yesterday during a news day yesterday afternoon. But for INEC to now come out to say that what was reported yesterday by some newspapers is clearly out of sync with what it intends to say. And I just read a portion. They're talking about their policy. INEC had no such plans. That is to start e-voting next year. What the policy says under ICT and voter registration is that INEC will pilot the use of electronic voting at the earliest possible time, not Edo and Delta in bracket, but work towards the full introduction of electronic voting in major elections starting from 2021.
Keyword, pilot work and towards. Well, I guess that's fair enough, just clarification,
Yes.
because
Well,
they can't do anything until it is amended.
Yes.
I think that the key point there is that INEC does not yet have the backing of the law to adopt electronic voting. And I think that that's an important point. You know, we've been talking about the Electoral Act being properly amended to accommodate electronic voting, and that the president should assent to it, and also the use of technology. And for all of this to take effect, of course, the constitutional provisions must be in alignment with, or rather the other way around. The Electoral Act, you know, must be in alignment with the relevant aspect of the Constitution. But the INEC policy on conducting elections, it talks about ICT and voter registration in Section 6, and it's before me here. And what they're talking about is applying value for money technology in aspects of the electoral process and electoral management. Biometric registration of voters.
Which we are doing already?
Yeah, but they say they are suspending continuous registration of voters for the time being, and then to make electronic channels available for voters to check their registration status, and then pilot the use of electronic voting machines at the earliest possible time. And it's stated in the policy, not Edo and Ondo, but work towards the full introduction of electronic voting in major elections starting from 2021. That is what the policy says. So that's where the confusion must have come from. And this is properly stated in a 17-page document.
But this clarification, because what the papers reported is that e-voting will start in 2021. And the election the major election we have in 2021 is the Anambra election, and that was what they alluded to.
Yeah, they are extrapolating from this paragraph 5.
I think we are all agreed that we need to get to the point of e-voting to enhance the credibility of the electoral process. So this argument should sensitize all stakeholders that we need to do what is
They should
needed.
just act on it at this point. You know, it's becoming frustrating.
And
just act on it.
I think President Buhari should lead the charge because he has been the greatest beneficiary of technology, according to him. He said he contested election 3 times, he lost, but with the introduction of technology, courtesy, good luck, Jonathan, your boss, he won the election.
Well,
so he cannot just benefit and don't push further on the use of technology.
Yeah, I cannot argue with you on that. Yes. But there's another part of that story. Festus Okoye, the director in charge of voter mobilization, saying that they also have cost issues.
Yes.
You know, and that but they will try to seek a balance, you know, between the cost of running the election and also doing so at the time of COVID-19. I hope that's not a case of INEC sending a signal that it will need more money from the federal government.
Well, they also acknowledge the fact that as a result of COVID-19,
they're going to review the
more
budget.
money is not coming to the government, so they will have to strike a balance.
Okay.
So let's leave it there.
For now.
Vanguard newspaper, COVID-19, this story that should interest Ruben. Doctors raise alarm, lament lack of tests in Kogi, Cross River State. We are seeing suspected cases in Kogi, but no lab confirmation. Nigerian Medical Association, no cause for alarm. We are prepared for coronavirus, Kogi government. Doctors say low number of tests in Cross River unacceptable. It is not compulsory. We must have cases, Cross River Health Commissioner. Yes, because in these 2 states, I've always been waiting to hear from the doctors because they see patients every day. So their views, their opinion should be taken very seriously. Because
Absolutely.
as against that of political actors who may just want to be actors.
They're the frontliners in this war, and quite
Yes.
frankly, anything that any politician has to say against the backdrop of what doctors are saying is absolutely irrelevant. It's not the first time that the doctors in Kogi states are coming out to make this call. They had already, and it has to be taken seriously.
Well, it's for the governments in Cross River and Kogi states to cooperate with the federal government. And now that we have 28 laboratories, testing laboratories, maybe they take advantage of testing laboratories in other parts of the country if they do not have in those states.
Thanks, Mr. Efeni, for the news headlines today.